when you learn about being a human first, you understand the word karma, and not only the action stuff, but also when it's unconscious. So there's many different ways I learned about karma from Sadhguru. In the inner engineering course, he talks about likes and dislikes, and he gives the example of, I like coffee, I drink coffee every day, I can't go one day without coffee. That's your karma. It's very straightforward. And it's so straightforward that when you understand how your human being brain works and your left and right mode, and how you work, because you are an emotional being first of all, because sensations arise, because your nervous system, your embodied brain, the right mode of your brain is what's online the first 2 years of your life. This is where Daniel Siegel shares the 2 years. I learned from another lady, but she's not the expert on the mind and the brain and relationships. She's an expert in somatic experiencing, I believe Ayurveda and other in the in-between. So she talks about that first year of life, and Daniel Siegel talks the first 2 years of life before the left mode comes online. Either or, the first 18 months of your life are the most important when it comes to anything related to attachment. And to karma, let's get back to the topic, because what people don't know, those who are in the 4D collective and 3D collective, the individuals who remain ignorant about the human being mind, and when they get thrown curveballs, instead of handling the emotions, because they come up, and your 3-year-old stays with you. It's not that they go away. The first 2 years, there's no words. Until that left mode comes online, and left is your linguistic center, you're a bunch of sensations. And really the implicit memory is what stores and builds up till that 3 years of life. So it's once you get past the 3 years that you begin to develop explicit memory. By 2 years of life, this left mode is online. So again, I don't want to do too much psych education, but learning about all this is really helpful to somebody who supports those who do want to move into their self for real, and understand why compassion would make your nose twitch. It means there's unresolved trauma somewhere in there, and it's projected towards the word compassion and humanity as a whole. So the average bear, the average person, meaning somebody who doesn't necessarily need a trauma therapist because there's not a excessive pattern of karma that is so misaligned with your Purusha Prakriti, Purusha, unconditional love, pure consciousness, Prakriti, pure energy. These words, they mean more than just something when you embody Human 101, because that's all it is a healthy human being who knows how to use their ventral vagal nervous system. That's our mammalian heritage, restored to embodied self. That's our mammalian heritage again. It's very basic. Just get a somatic course or trauma-informed course. Get Awakened Embodied Certificate is really great too. Trauma Basic Informed from Dr. Albert Wong, Somatopia. 2 courses is all you need to get at least a basic and understand how you work. You know how many people I saw at these courses and none of them are aligned yet, but they're ready to project not only to others how to do their own healing. And I laugh because every time I see a person who repeats their pattern, so another one bites the dust, when they get thrown that curveball, their 3-year-old succumbs to defeat and decides, I'm going to be a martyr for the rest of my life and suffer because I was given this gift called Clairland and I can't do anything with it because I can't save humanity. And as the not successful savior of people and humanity, I must succumb to this life that is punishment and full of agony and despair. And you know how many people actually feel this, believe it, and it's like, what are you, a drama poem in front of me? Because see, I get to witness this and learn to be indifferent to it, not because I want to, because all people that I've met, I'm 43, I thought it was just teenagers, now I'm an adult, and I realize, thank you trauma experts for informing me on how challenging it is for people to actually deal with the word sadness, no, just the emotion, because, apparently our ancestors, well, rightly so, they couldn't lay down in the middle of nowhere, an animal was going to come eat them, so that made a lot of sense. When I heard it, I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, here's where the shift it's brought about for those who decided to succumb to defeat and allow fear, because see, fear wins in a different way when people choose that their 3-year-old, they ignore the 3-year-old, so they don't become their emotional adult. They stay their 3-year-old, but they stay the 3-year-old with the stereotypes, generalizations in 4D land, with the shame, blame, fault, and revenge. So the blame, let's blame life, let's blame humanity, and let's talk about them as broken. Let's talk about the world as shitty, because I decided that all of what I focused on, of my dislikes, human beings are enacting. Like the people who say, oh, nature, I'm going to go for nature, and I want to eliminate all humans. And I'm like, no, yeah, I'm going to go with the human people and not the nature people at that point, because I'm a human. You're going against my own species. It's called going against your own life, and it seems very much like a contradiction and no, it's not self-sabotage. You're literally self-destructing yourself, not me. The part about humans being destructive, it's the people who don't heal from their unfinished business, which has a long line of, yes, our ancestors, they were not really great or cool. You know, when you see people who talk about, what is it, shamanism, as if there's something amazing, when you see an individual who is basically performing a ritual that is from ancient times, as if this is an actual enlightened being, and that it actually means something. Like when you see adults older than you with more licenses than you ever will have, because I don't plan on getting, spell out something that you're like, okay, you do realize what you just spoke, right? Like this is, you're making sensationalization out of something that we want to address, and hopefully get those countries to address, because we don't live in the past unless you want to live in the past. And here's where, why do you watch the future stuff then? Don't do physics, don't do cosmos, don't do I know things, do flat earthers, because that's where you want to go. Because at least the flat earthers, they use math, I don't know, you know, but when you see people who are educated actually not realize their dissociation or depersonalization, I don't even know what words to use, because sometimes I'm at a loss. I'm like, I know I'm not a smart person, meaning I can't regurgitate, can't give you the data, but I can see when somebody is misplacing and misallocating what words are coming out of their mouth and making something look like, and it's like, that's not actually that. There's no warfare between minds, between people. And that's where my 5D mysticism comes into the mix. And I knew there was a reason for my clairs being something that would be a part of my life. I just didn't realize just how much, because see, I am the woo-woo lady, but I'm pseudoscience for the reason of scientific methodology. I love education. And so learning about Patrick McNamara, thank you, Patrick McNamara, for all the research you do. He's a neuroscientist, and he explains why a demon doesn't take over a person's body. Now, I need to watch this documentary at a certain point. We'll come to that one eventually, but I need to hear and then look at how they're dissecting this documentary, and if they're going to present updated neuroscience information with it, or if they're going to continue with the storyline about demonic possession. Because see, TV should be at least TV, educational. They complain about social media having this information, so why don't we have TV like Netflix or all those other apps that have documentaries update their material with good information? I forgot, because we don't have the police on entertainment, which we don't want, right? Nobody wants that. So there's all these different areas. In the meantime, what we can have are the 5D mystics who say, okay, science is magic that works, clairs, great and dandy, but your brain has everything to do with it, and your 3-year-old. And when life throws you a curveball and you don't know about being a human, and you bite the dust because you decide humans suck and life is suffering, you've just decided not to expand your window of tolerance to a window of welcome with your emotional stuff, and you did not heal your own karma from your own household for this lifetime. If you just take this lifetime, even without any Akashic record readings, you'll notice what emotions you can work through and how to build healthy self-worth, not superior and inferior. 3-year-old with a whole heart, no shame, no blame. This is called a healed person. You can do it with a good trauma therapist. You can do it with good personal development. You choose love on your own. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family, and that's where unconditional love, compassion. It's easy for those of us who did choose love again and again and again when we got thrown all the curveballs, even by people who projected their unresolved stuff. So relationships minus the drama. Easy for emotionally regulated individuals. Tune in for more. Have a great day.